for Real Talk with Iris, with your host, Iris Wright, the talk show dedicated to making our communities better, building relationships, networking, and supporting small businesses. Join us every week as we discuss new and creative ideas to improve our neighborhoods and communities. This is your chance to get motivated, inspired, and encouraged. So let's get set for another amazing episode of Real Talk with Iris with your host, Iris Wright.
Hey everybody, welcome to another amazing episode of Real Talk with Iris. You know I have a special guest. I have my coach on the line with us today speaking, and we're going to be talking about getting started in trucking and all the opportunities that is in trucking, and especially for women. So her business is the Queen of Trucking. I want to welcome Johnique Taylor. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. Just excited to be here, to be a part of the Real Talk with Iris show today and shed light on, coming into the trucking industry. And again, especially from a woman's perspective with women in trucking.
I love it. I love it. So, guys, if you have not been following me in my husband's journey, Johnique is our coach. We're getting into trucking. Excited. Both me and my husband, this is new. So having somebody like Johnique that's been doing it for a long time is awesome. It makes us feel more comfortable because there's a lot into it than you think. But it's going to be great. So we're excited. So we want to ask Johnique a few questions about getting your foot into the door. Like, what type of person would you say would be great? You know, whether it's women, men into trucking, or what would you ask people that wanted to come into trucking?
Well, first of all, it'll be any type of person. That's not, I wouldn't say specifically for anyone particular, just a person who has a desire to start a business in the industry that's essential, that's not going anywhere, that helps America run every day. And again, to make some good money while building connections. So that person can look any kind of way. It can be a male, a female, a young, older, mid-age, retirement. That's the beautiful part about the trucking industry. It's wide open opportunity for everyone who wants to be a part of an industry like this.
And when I got into trucking or was looking into it, I thought we have to own trucks, all the overhead, so many things. And by working with you, you made us aware of the things that we can do without owning a truck and still be in the trucking industry and all the multiple streams of income. So you want to share some of the information about the different streams of income that's in the trucking industry?
Absolutely. Once again, I'm Johnique Taylor, the Queen of Trucking. I'm in the industry full force. Been in it for 28 years now. My experience is on all ends of it, including the trucking side, the freight brokerage side, the dispatcher side, and I'm also a tractor trailer 18-wheeler cross-country driver as well. Now, that just in itself lets you know that there's a lot of opportunities where you can get into the industry, and the list goes on and on and on in regards to once you get your feet in the door, then you're tapping into other areas that you can definitely explore in and again, make a lucrative income doing it with longevity. Now, the great part about trucking, it's not how old trucking used to be. Everybody always thought, hey, you got to go buy a truck or you got to drive a truck to be able to get in the industry. There's so many different ways to get into the trucking industry without having to do either. And that's the beautiful part about coming into the industry, educating yourself, learning how the industry works first. So once again, you can see how you fit in that, because there's ways that you can come in starting a dispatching services company where you're servicing other people's equipment and other people's authority. You can also come in and get your own authority and start your own trucking company in itself and never buy one truck. There is too many owner operators out there, fleet owners who own trucks, drive trucks, but they don't have their own authority. So they're always looking to go up under other people's authority. So that gives you multiple strings right there by owning your dispatching company as well as your trucking company. And to top it off, you can also get your freight brokerage authority and get your freight directly from the source, from the shipper, and you making money in so many different areas.
I love it. I love it. And getting started, because we know there's some challenges, as you had educated us about, when it comes to dispatching, and how good dispatchers can help solve those issues that's been happening in the trucking industry. And I wanted to touch base on that as well, because as we're getting into and building our business, we need to be very intentional and making sure that we're taking care of the customer, because services is needed, but that could raise some fears for some companies if people are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I thank you. That's because you educated us on a lot of the things, how important the deadhead miles are and different things to educate us and to help us know what to look for, what to pay attention for, and all that kind of good stuff. Do you want to touch base on some of that?
Yes. Being prepared as a dispatcher, whether or not you have a dispatching services company or you started your dispatching services company and your trucking company, you still got to know how to dispatch. And a lot of people that come into this industry, unfortunately, the most that they know is, hey, let me just go get a load board account in some trucks. And that is not dispatching, because it's so many different moving parts to this industry to make it all work. So when dispatchers come in and just say, I'm just going to get me some trucks to dispatch and get me some contractors and go to the load board, they think that that's all it is. But in reality, you got to know how the industry, once again, work. You got to know how to be able to move the equipment that you're servicing. A lot of people don't understand that. And again, if you don't understand the markets, the lanes, the rates, you don't understand where to put your truck at, where not to put your truck at, you find yourself with a lot of deadhead miles. And truckers are losing money by the second if you're a dispatcher that's not knowledgeable, if you're a dispatcher who are not taking taking it serious and who's not going over and beyond. That's what these owner operators are looking for in a dispatcher. They're not looking for somebody to just go on a load board and book a load from A to B. What about once you get from B to C? If you didn't understand how the market worked based on the type of equipment that you're booking for, yeah, you could have booked a good load from A to B, but then you put B right in the middle of a dead zone. They have to deadhead all those miles just to get to another load. So the extra profit that they made on that one load, guess what? They just lost it in deadhead miles because you didn't understand the industry. You didn't understand the type of equipment you were booking. You didn't understand the markets and the lanes on how it pays. You didn't understand that, hey, there's nothing slap dead in the middle of wherever you just sent that driver. There's no manufacturers. There's no warehouses. There's no nothing. Nothing's being produced there. So therefore, you have to deadhead a long ways. And that can be crucial. Once again, fuel prices are extremely high. Owner operators are not going to want you to service their trucks if you don't understand how to dispatch their trucks properly.
I agree. I've been doing more reading and everything, learning more and more about what the drivers are looking for and why they're disappointed and why some may be disappointed in dispatching. And you have touched base on a lot of it. Communication was a big deal. And, I feel like communication is hard for a lot of people. But I was reading that some of the drivers are saying when they're in need, they cannot get a hold of the dispatching company. So I think that is important for us to make sure that they're always able to get a hold of us. And I know you continuously in our training, would tell us that to make sure they can get a hold of us. But not only that, a lot of times it's because of weather and different things, which you have through our training taught us that too, to research and do some help. If we know that bad weather is coming, alert them and do certain things. If we know that something is happening in another way, help them with that as well for their safety and all that kind of good stuff. So customer service is a big deal no matter what field you are. But I do feel like being a truck driver on the road long hours, you need that support. to make sure that you stay safe and you get to your stops on time, because you also stated on time is a big deal. So like touch base on that, like if they're running late, what can happen and all of that kind of good stuff for them.
Yeah, communication is key. And like I say, good customer service and communication, it don't matter what industry, what business. As a business owner, you got to have it, no way around it. Even more so in trucking, because everything is on a timeline. Just think about it. How many times have you gone to the store or your favorite restaurant and they say, hey, we're out of this or we're out of that because we're waiting on a truck to get here to deliver our goods? It could
Mm-hmm.
have been many factors as to why that product is running late with that driver having that product on his truck. He could have definitely ran into inclement weather. He could have ran into a bad accident that kept him in traffic for 2, 3 hours. He could have ran into issues at the shipper when he got loaded and they had delays for whatever reason, which caused his appointment time for his delivery to be pushed back or off. So communication is imperative. Not just communicating with your driver, but you have to communicate with the brokers who you're booking your loads with and or the shippers if you have direct shipper accounts. Communication goes a long ways because once again, as a dispatcher or as a trucking company owner, which again, you're still dispatching, you're the liaison between that driver and that customer. You're the middle person. You're the person that pulls everything together. You're the person who sets everything up. So if you're not communicating with either party, the driver or the broker, they're lost in not knowing, hey, did the shipment get picked up? Was it delivered on time? Did the driver have the correct pickup information? Those are so many different reasons why, again, communication goes a long ways. Even on top of taking care of your drivers. Honey, as a dispatcher or a trucking company, you need to be available 24/7. It's no ifs and buts about it. If you have drivers on the road, be available 24/7. That phone should be glued to you. Now, do you have to work 24/7? Absolutely not. Now, if you're smart with being a dispatcher, you're taking care of that stuff, hey, the day before or the day of or whenever you're doing. If you're stacking your loads, you're doing it maybe at the beginning of the week and book their loads for all week long. But however, if that driver has a delivery at 1 o'clock in the morning and they get to their delivery and there's a delivery appointment number that they need and you didn't provide that to them, or say the broker did not provide it to you on the rate sheet so you couldn't provide it to your driver, who is the driver going to call? They're going to call you first to find out, hey, what's this delivery appointment number? Do you know you can be the holdup of a load not getting delivered? Do you know that it's a trickle effect when one load didn't get delivered? Let's say, again, his appointment was at 1 o'clock in the morning. He had to reload come 10 o'clock in the morning the next morning, whatever the scenario is after his 10-hour break. Now, if he didn't get unloaded at 1 o'clock because he didn't have that delivery appointment number, guess what? They're not going to touch his truck, especially if you're going to places like Walmart and Publix, distribution center, places like that. They're not going to touch it without having the proper information with that delivery appointment number or reference number, whatever number that they're requiring. So now you've caused that driver to have to sit and wait till you answer the phone to be able to get him the proper information. So it's easier to be prepared in your day's time as a dispatcher. When I say being available 24/7, that's again, no matter what time of the day, time of the night. Hey, I remember many nights of having to wake up in the middle of the night, taking care of a driver, getting information they're need, maybe a pickup number or delivery number change, or maybe it wasn't provided on the rate sheet, or maybe the driver had a mechanical issue, a blowout on the tire, the blowout tire on the truck or the trailer, many different things, running late because of traffic, running late because it's too foggy or it's too raining or it's snowing too bad and they can't get to their destination. First thing they're going to do is call their point of contact, which is you. So communication goes a long ways with the drivers, and drivers be upset about that. If they can't reach you, me as a driver being on the road, trucking, yes, I book my own loads, all that good stuff, but I still get my freight from brokers. So if I'm waiting at the delivery, just deliver my load, and let's say there's a lumper fee, and you call the broker, of course, to get the express code to pay for the lumper fee because we don't pay out of pocket for lumper fees, and you can't reach a driver. You know how many times I've had to wait at a dock to 8 o'clock in the morning the next morning or pay out of pocket because of the fact the broker was not available? The same way we as dispatchers or company owners and all that have to be available, we rely on those brokers to be available as well with half an hour. So it's crucial for communicating.
Yeah, I agree. we have to do better, I think, in the whole with communicating, making sure that whatever job, whatever business we're running, that we're doing effective communicating. I think that's a great leadership
Right.
as you're leading, because you're one of our leaders here in trucking. I'm excited. I mean, you have, through this process, you have been so patient, giving us a lot of information, making us feel comfortable. We know we have your support anytime that we have needed to speak to you, text you, call you, or whatever. You have been available, and just dropping a lot of nuggets and actually showing us, even when down to looking for the loads, being intentional about the loads that we're giving our drivers to make sure it's worth it and that they're making money. Because that was another thing I was reading about, that people were just setting up loads, and some of the loads wasn't making the money that the drivers needed to make it make sense for them to be making their money. So that's very important, that we know that, which is a good load, which may not be a good load to do, how when they do a drop off, get to one location, they're on their way back, where to look at to make sure that we get another load so they can come back with another load, so they're constantly making money. And I feel like by reading, some of the drivers was saying that their dispatcher was not doing that for them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of education around doing your job in this trucking industry. We can't just jump in it and say, hey, we know it. We need to make sure that we're being very intentional.
Right.
So I'm excited, that, when I was reading, I was thinking, like, she explained all of this to us, broke it down. And sometimes when we're getting the right coaches, the right people that are really passionate about their job, they are going to teach you the right way to do things. So I really do appreciate that as well. So you have been, I'm like, okay, I read this and I'm going to do this. Even with marketing for it, I was like, oh my God, I'm not in this industry. I have to learn again. I have to build my presence. How should I do this? So I would tell anybody, like, when she started breaking down the ways that we can make money and what added value you can add to your business, whether you are in dispatch or you want to have trucks or you don't want to have trucks, and different things that you may know how to do that may be a benefit to the trucking industry, that you can do to build those multiple streams of income inside the industry that they may need. So you want to touch base on a few more things that truckers need that people can work with and do business on?
Absolutely. Believe it or not, the trucking industry is a slept on industry on so many different levels. For people that's looking for, business opportunities, they only see the truck. They only see the driver, but they don't see all the logistics behind it. They don't see that, hey, this is a whole nother audience. It don't matter what you offer, whether or not you're selling insurance, health care, or, life insurance, financial services, mental health, wellness, digital marketing, any of that stuff, DLT compliant services, taxes, services, the list goes on and on and on. It's so many different roles that you can have in this industry as your current business. Even if you're in a different industry, tap into the trucking industry, because these are truckers that need your services. Most drivers, when they're over the road for weeks at a time. They don't have time to come back and do the research for this, that, and the other. Imagine now marketing to these drivers or to the trucking industry in itself. And now you're able to go ahead and tap into a whole nother market of people who need your services. They just need to know that your services exist. So that's the wonderful part about, again, is the support roles. And like I always tell people, you don't have to go out and buy equipment to be able to make money in this industry. All you have to do is provide a service or have a product by filling the gap in of what's already there now. And you can make so much different money, because again, it's a new audience that you're tapping into without having to overlook it, because you think that, oh, they don't need this service or they don't need this service. But believe it or not, they need all those services as drivers, even dispatchers, even trucking companies. If you have like software, if you're a software company, do you know how many different things that you can offer, trucking companies, dispatching companies, owner operators, who's looking to organize their their paperwork and their daily business. If you're an accountant or you do any of that type of stuff, CPA, there's so many different scenarios of how you can support the trucking industry and still make money without even being directly in the trucking industry.
I agree. I agree. Even marketing, guys, the mobile billboard. So, guys, everyone knows that visibility is important. When you own a business, you have a brand, you want visibility. And what I like about the mobile billboard is that it doesn't just stay like 24 hours. You're paying for 6 months or longer, riding all over the country. A lot of our businesses now are global.
Mm-hmm.
And it stopped at stop signs and do everything compared to a regular billboard, which no one really looks at for too long anyways, and the billboard doesn't stay up that long. This is going all around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another way to tap in as well for the mobile billboard. So I'm gonna let her tap in a little bit to tell you about the mobile billboards.
Yeah. So recently, of course, we launched the mobile billboard advertising program, which is huge. So not only are we moving freight in these tractor trailers, we also are writing advertisement. We're allowing businesses to advertise their brand on the side of these tractor trailers. We have a local fleet. The local fleet will be out of Atlanta, Georgia, Dallas, Texas, and Chicago, Illinois. Then we have the over the road fleet. Could you imagine, as a business owner, you have online services or online products or whatever it is that you do, you can do it from anywhere and have clients everywhere. Can you imagine having 2, 3, 4, 5 of these billboards moving in action? And now you got new clients everywhere. So once again, that is this so exciting part about the mobile billboard advertising program, because we're just pretty much taking trucking to another level with advertising and utilizing that equipment. Also with, again, bringing awareness to other businesses that may only saw you online. As a business owner, it's good to have an online audience, but what about online stuff fail? What if it all shut down? What if there's problems with the internet, whatever, platforms that you're using? How would your business survive for the ones who have a big audience online? Where is your original organic uh, clientele? Do you have that in place in the event that happens? Even if it doesn't happen, what do you have as a backup plan in regards to how would you market? How would people know about your business? So with our mobile billboard advertising program, it's a great opportunity. Once again, instead of spending thousands and thousands of dollars per month on advertising, you can advertise for 6 months at a time. And again, this truck is reaching spaces that stationary billboard can't reach. People are riding around in traffic, and guess what? They look up and see the mobile billboard with your information on it. Now they got your information right there, QR code, everything. If you have an online store, hey, that's great. If you have, again, insurance, health, or any of that type of stuff, any type of online services, they're able to shop with you right then and there just with a QR code. And of course, we're standing out big and bold with that mobile billboard advertising program, because once again, it hasn't been done before. You see the billboards as you're riding down the freeway on the main freeways. But what about for whenever those drivers are going into the local deliveries in a different city and state? How many people seeing those ads every single day, over and over and over again in different cities and states? So it's huge. I love it. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. Guys, tap in if you want more information about the mobile billboards. You can either get a hold of me or Johnique, because advertising and visibility is important, and it needs to make sense as well. So that's what I love about this. So, Johnique, if someone is thinking, hey, I may want to get into trucking or be a dispatcher, um, what would be the 3 things you would tell them to do? The top 3 things you tell them to do to get started.
Top 3 things. If you're coming in, whether or not you're coming in to start your dispatching services company or start in your trucking company, educate yourself first. Do not go to what we call Facebook University or social media university for your information. Because again, you're going to get limited information. So you want to make sure when you're getting that information, you're getting correct information. I always say the blind leading the blind half of the time on social media platforms when it comes down to, people trying to get free information. This is your business. This is your future. These are going to be your future clients that you are going to be servicing. Don't play with that, with just trying to get bare minimum information. So for one, educate yourself. Now, two, if you're coming into this industry, get a mentor, get a coach. Do not try to do this by yourself. This industry is, again, far too big to be a one-man show. You do not want to have to worry about you losing clients and you can't service your trucks and they're not making money because you didn't take time to educate yourself or you didn't take time to get the proper help that you're needing. So once again, educate yourself through trainings, get a mentor. And by far, number three, if you are starting a trucking company, do not go buy a truck before you do those first two things with educating yourself and getting a mentor. I see it every day in these groups where people actually go out and spend thousands and thousands. Now trucks, tractor trailers, they 56, 60,000 easy, 80,000 easily. People can even spend 100,000 plus on these trucks. But yet they go buy the truck first and then say, hey, what do I do now? I got the truck. What do I do now? Baby, you need to know that before you go spend that money on that truck, because half the reasons why people come into this industry, they come in, put a down payment down of $5,000, $10,000 to get their truck, put it on the road, but they out of business 3 to 6 months later. You know why? Those main two things up at the front. They failed to educate themselves. They didn't even understand how rates work. They didn't even understand how to negotiate rates. They didn't even understand how the markets in the lane work. So they just brought this equipment and then they went to the load board, got the bottom of the barrel, and they didn't make money. So the expenses for fuel, insurance, and driver pay, all that was so high. So they said, oh, it didn't work. It didn't work because you failed to educate yourself. It didn't work because of the fact that you just came in here and half done it. So now when it's time to pass a safety audit for the new entrant safety audit, you failed it and you out of business because you didn't have everything that you needed to be in compliance day one, because you went ahead and did the guessing game and or the trial and error stage, which can be very expensive. So those are the top three right there for sure.
I agree. I don't know what we would have done if I would have felt comfortable going into trucking without booking a coach and having some guidance there. So now we are to the point where we are marketing, we're ready to accept clients. So guys, if you are a trucking company and you happen to hear and you need a dispatching company that cares, that is intentional, that is going to be 110%, go ahead to Right Way Logistics. Our website is wwaylogistics.com. If you need a coach or anything as well, please, the Queen of Trucking. She's excellent coach, walk you through everything. Another thing that I like is meeting genuine good people that don't mind standing together, especially as women. I think it's a big deal when it comes to women, building something together, getting to know each other, making money together, and all of that kind of good stuff. So we can't wait to get up and running so we can really take our brands and work together into making both of our business continue growing in success. And that's very, very important to me. So I appreciate you for being that type of person, because it's just very, very hard to find people that are not in competition and not understanding that you really can make money together. Most importantly, So guys, y'all are going to see Johnique in person at the Black Diamond Awards and Gala September the 26th in Williamsburg, Virginia. We are going to do a small panel for women in trucking, but it's going to be talking about the ways that you can make money in trucking. And you'll be able to ask questions. You'll be able to get her card. So if you're there and you're interested in trucking, reach out to her, network. We have plenty of networking time there. So we got a lot of great things coming up at the gala. This is our first annual gala. And and I'm excited to have that live conversation there as well. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, get your tickets, get in the room, because what this room represents is very important to all of us. One, we build, we grow, we make money together. Most importantly, we make impact. And I don't just want to give you an award. I want you to take something valuable with you. I want you to meet people that are intentional, that want to do work with you. I want you, if you have questions about building another stream of income, have people that you can ask those questions to that do not mind effective collaborating to help you get to where you need to be. So it's very important when we are attending events that we get what we want from it. So I'm hoping that you come, you enjoy yourself, you get full of information, not just full of food. The food is going to be good too. But I'm real big on, we have to keep certain things here. I feel like everything is going away, and integrity is moving, everything. We need to remember right now in our economy that we need each other, and we are better together than apart. So guys, if you're coming, get your tickets. If you have someone you want to nominate that should be in this room, please nominate them. Nominations will be until the middle of July. I think July 15th is going to be the last day for nominations. I'm excited. I know Johnique's excited. She'll be happy to talk to you. If trucking is something you want to get into, find a good coach that's going to be available, that has the experience, that knows the in and outs, that knows the little things that people fail to realize, and all of that kind of stuff. So, Johnique, I am so happy that you came on here with me today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And guys, this is Trucking Tuesday. So guys, on Tuesdays, we're going to come live and talk about trucking. So if you want to tap into the trucking industry, tap in. If there's a specific thing that you want to talk about in trucking, go to my website, realtalkwithiris.com. Leave us a message and tell us what you want to hear, so we can get the conversation together to answer those questions and to talk to you about it. I will also have information to how you can get a hold of Johnique if you need to get a hold of Johnique as well. If you missed today's show, you watch the replay. Guys, I am streaming. So I know a lot of times we're not, but I'm excited. So we are streaming. Just go ahead and put something in the comments. If you watch it later on our Roku network, guys, you know how to find me. Again, go to realtalkwithiris.com. Today, I want to say thank you guys for showing up, listening. Also, I want you to remember this. A lot of things is going on in our world. A lot of things. People are going through a lot. So if you see someone in need, I want you to take a moment. If you can help them, help them. If you cannot help them, I still want you to take a moment, give them a hug, and let them know that God loves them, guys. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.
All right.
Thanks for tuning into Real Talk with Iris, with your host, Iris Wright, the talk show dedicated to making our communities better, building relationships, networking, and supporting small businesses. Join us next week as we discuss new and creative ideas to improve our neighborhoods and communities. We hope you were motivated, inspired, and encouraged with today's segment. So until next time, make today great from your friends at Real Talk with Iris and your host, Iris Wright.